now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book The Man Crisis comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. A 29-year-old Detroit man was shot and killed in a dispute over an elevator. Now, in this incident, which took place in Detroit, Michigan, 29-year-old Ariel Harris was allegedly shot and killed by Galen Spencer after your Harris held the elevator for a group of women who were at the International Banquet Center in Greektown. Now, as your Ariel Harris allegedly held the elevator for these women, your Galen Spencer got upset and then got into an argument with Ariel Harris, which ended with your Spencer allegedly shooting Harris, and then your Harris then winding up bleeding, and then his family winding up taking him out of the elevator. And as they waited to try to get him to the hospital, he wound up dying on the scene. Now, the police are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior of Galen Spencer, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that your Galen Spencer, based on the alleged behavior that he's suspected of participating in, really did not understand the male rules of engagement. And because he was never taught proper male life skills and male survival skills by his parents, or taught critical thinking or the ability to go out here and problem solve, your Galen Spencer allegedly acted impulsively when he went out here and got in this argument with your Ariel Harris over him holding the elevator door for some ladies who were going upstairs to a place at the banquet hall. And this Ariel Harris was just so caught up in his feelings that he could not see that in addition to the women who were on that elevator, Ariel Harris's two young boys were also on that elevator with him. And what's really disturbing about this entire incident is that this man pulls out a firearm and shoots another black man right in front of his children, all because he's caught up in his feelings over something like somebody holding the elevator for somebody else. Now, according to proper etiquette as related to man training, when there are women waiting for an elevator, a man is supposed to let those women ride first and wait for the next car to come down and then get on that elevator. This sadly was something that possibly your Galen Spencer wasn't taught, possibly because he was raised in a single mother household, and in that single mother household he never learned the proper rules of engagement that men are supposed to be participating in. And because he saw another man out here leading the way a man is supposed to, this possibly led to him getting upset and looking to explode in a rage, where he took out this firearm and sadly wound up shooting this man in front of the mother of his children and his two sons, and again did this over something as trivial as an elevator. Now, I have been on elevators for many years, and oftentimes the elevator car would get full, and yes, maybe I really had to get somewhere to go, but I understood that if the elevator car is full, I have two options. I can wait for the car to come back down and then ride up the next time, or I can just go find the staircase and then take a trip up the staircase. That is what a critical thinking man does when he sees this situation come up in his life. No, he goes out here and he thinks, okay, I want to get someplace, so what I'm going to do is either I'm going to wait 4 or 5 minutes for the next car, and if that elevator's taking too long, then I'm just going to go and take the stairs. No man who is a critical thinker is going to go out here and look to do harm to somebody for something trivial as a trip on an elevator, because they understand that there are more important things like their dignity, their self-respect, and most importantly, a man's freedom. Because a man's freedom should not be something he sacrifices for something as trivial as an elevator ride. Because, yes, a man is going to, again, let the women and children ride first because he wants to make sure they arrive safely. And if he has to get there, he can come from behind to be able to, again, ensure that they are protected. Unfortunately, this man was so caught up in his feelings about getting where he wanted to go, he didn't see where his impulsive behavior was going to lead to him going. Because after he wound up shooting and killing allegedly your Ariel Harris, your Galen Spencer allegedly went on the run and was quickly caught in Ohio and extradited back to Detroit. And when he goes back to Detroit, he's going to go from being a free black man on a Sunday morning to being a man wearing an orange jumpsuit sitting in the county jail. And as he's sitting in the county jail waiting for his trial, he is going to go from being free to go out here to one of these banquet centers to going into a jail cell for the next year or so as he waits for trial. And inside of that jail cell, he's going to be told what to do by your COs. And as those COs are telling him what to do, they're going to tell him when to get up, when he can wash, when he can sleep, when he can eat. And he's going to be thinking sadly about the freedom he threw away because he wanted to ride on an elevator and was mad that somebody held the door. Well, they're not going to be holding the door for your Galen Spencer as related to his alleged shooting of Ariel Harris. No, if he gets convicted of this crime, they're going to be holding open his tight end and turning it into a wide receiver, because as he's inside of that penitentiary for the rest of his life, he's going to have to be in there, and they're going to be holding him down and holding his booty open so that your Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, and Big Dave can all keep getting turns spit roasting him inside of the penitentiary, and he's not going to have any way of fighting out of that because he won't have a firearm, but they will have lots of commissary, and they will be trading his booty for some Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light, cups of coffee, Kit Kat candy bars, 6-pack Oreo cookies, Fritos chips, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies. He's going to be getting turned out for the rest of his life inside of that penitentiary. And as he's sitting inside of that penitentiary, he's going to be sitting there thinking about the day he went out here and murdered a father of two, possibly as related to just somebody holding an elevator, and realizing you threw away things that were far more important, like your health, your safety, and most importantly, your freedom. And throwing away your freedom because a guy held an elevator for some women, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. Unfortunately, many of your beta males, because they're raised in a dysfunctional fashion, do not know how to think critically. And because they don't know how to think critically, what they do is act impulsively. And when they act impulsively, they never think about the consequences of their actions and how the consequences of their actions can impact them negatively, because arguing and getting upset over a man holding an elevator quickly turned your Galen Spencer into a man in crisis. And now this man in crisis is in custody. And as he's in custody, he's possibly just sitting there wondering how he went from being a man with freedom to a man being told what to do by COs, to be a man who's going to have his tight end turned into a wide receiver by Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, and Big Dave, who are all going to be waiting for him either at the county jail or the penitentiary. They're all going to be waiting for your Galen Spencer as related to this alleged idiotic incident where a guy gets upset over another man holding the elevator for women. Again, a man who was holding an elevator for his own children and and the mother of his children. And I would rather have a man hold the elevator for a woman in my family to make sure that they get where they're going safe, because that shows that that man was raised right. And what's sad is a mother lost her son and is heartbroken over losing her son because some dysfunctional male could not have the patience or self-control to understand that women are supposed to go on the elevator before you to make sure that they are safe and to make sure that they're all right. Again, basic etiquette as related to manhood, but sadly many of these males don't get this, and this is how these males become men in crisis. And this man became a man in crisis because, again, he did not know how to go out here and think critically about his freedom and did not know how to think critically about the safety of others. So he's out here arguing with another man and arguing with another man because he's still upset over something like an elevator. Again, men don't get upset over elevators. Men just have the patience to go out here and wait for the next one because we understand that there's more to life than a trip on an elevator, and losing your freedom over a trip on an elevator is one of the stupidest things that could happen. But sadly it happened here because we have a beta male who, again, has no ability to use logic and reason, and because he doesn't have the ability to use logic and reason, now he doesn't have his freedom, and now he's going from being a man, again, who had his freedom, to being a man in crisis who's going to get that tight end turned into a wide receiver. Now, if you want to learn more about what motivates beta males to participate in the irrational and impulsive and dysfunctional behaviors like looking to harm someone over an elevator door, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more men's issues videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.